Welcome back, precious gems. For those that don't know, my name is Rita from Rita's Treasures, and today I am going to show you how to make the most absolute dreamy body cream you could ever make. I have been making body moisturizers for over 7 years, and this recipe that I'm going to show you today is the absolute best recipe that I've ever made. The base of this body cream uses shea butter, as you can see here, and I also have two mixing bowls. These glass bowls are heat resistant, so I really recommend having some type of heat resistant bowl, at least one of them, because we are going to be using the double boil method to melt down this shea butter right here. So there is two different types of shea butter out on the market. You have your ivory color, which is what I have right here, and you also have yellow shea butter. You can use either one. I prefer the ivory shea butter just because it is a little bit less greasy in texture. We'll also be adding in some coconut oil, almond oil. By the way, this DIY is linked down in the description down below. I will also be using some jojoba oil, some black castor oil. Regular castor oil is fine too. I just prefer black castor oil. And we have next is some aloe vera gel. This is my favorite brand of aloe vera gel to use. I highly recommend using this brand here. And to add some type of fragrance into the shea butter, here I have some fragrance oils that I have made and put together. Wasn't quite sure which one I'm going to use, so I grabbed both. And of course, you're going to need the scale to measure out the shea butter since the shea butter is in blocks. Something to stir the shea butter as it's melting in the double boil method. And of course, your measuring utensils. You're going to need measuring cup and measuring spoons in this. So let me not forget, one of the most important ingredients as well is cornstarch. You're definitely going to need some type of starch. If you don't have cornstarch, you can also use arrowroot starch. Like I said, in the description is linked the DIY. And in my DIY, I'll also list a whole bunch of different substitutes that you can use if you don't have some of these oils on hand, or if you just prefer a different oil. Alright, so let's get started. The first step is to put some type of pan of water on the stove to get the water hot so we can melt down the shea butter. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot droppers. If you're going to be using any type of fragrance oil, I recommend having droppers so you have more of a control of how much fragrance is going into your body butter. Okay, so while your water is heating up, you're going to want to measure out 5 ounces of shea butter. Once you measured that out, go ahead and put the shea butter into the heat resistant mixing bowl, and you're going to then transfer it on over to the pan with the warm or hot water. Make sure to consistently stir the shea butter as it's melting down in this double boil method. And this is where the step 2 where you're also add this coconut oil. So you're going to add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil into your shea butter. Okay, so now your oil is completely melted down. Go ahead and take it out of the hot water, place to the side until the bowl is cool to touch. Once the bowl is cool to touch, then we're going to go ahead and transfer that oil into the larger second mixing bowl. Next, we're going to be adding 1/4 cup of both the black castor oil and the jojoba oil. And now we're going to be adding 1/2 cup of almond oil into the oil mixture. And now we are going to be putting this oil into the freezer to accelerate the cooling down and the hardening of this oil. So as you can see here, I put this in the freezer for roughly about 20 to 30 minutes. The top layer is hard, so I'm just loosening it up. But as you can see underneath, it's still pretty liquidy, and that's perfect. That's what we want. We just wanted to cool this off enough so that when it's whipping, it'll start to have a whipped texture to it. And this is when we are going to be adding in the aloe gel. So I just did this by increments, about maybe a third of the bottle at a time. And we're going to be mixing it with a electric hand mixer. I really recommend using an electric hand mixer. I don't recommend trying to do this by hand. I cannot imagine the amount of pain this might cause you. And also a regular blender, I don't think this will work well because this mixture is going to be such a thick viscosity. Oh my goodness, look how nicely that this is fluffed up. It looks like whipped cream. So now that it's fully whipped, we are going to be adding in some cornstarch. Cornstarch is so important to this recipe because cornstarch is what allows it to absorb really quickly into your skin. So here you're going to be adding roughly about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And at this time, it's also really perfect to go ahead, if you have any type of fragrance oil that you want to add, go ahead and add it in. Fragrance oil can be an essential oil or maybe a perfume oil that you like. Whatever it is, I would say you can go ahead and just start adding it in now. I do recommend to start off with any type of oil, you do about maybe 12 to 14 drops starting off, and then just increase it however you like as you go to get the strong of a scent as you want. My goodness, this just came out so perfect. Just look at it. Look at those peaks. So we are finished with the blending or the whipping, and now we're going to transfer it into a plastic bag so it'll be easier to transfer it then into the container. If you don't have a Ziploc or plastic bag to use, and maybe you might have some icing bags, that works well too. So go ahead and transfer it on over. Thank you so much for watching my DIY for this body cream. I absolutely love this body cream. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button to be notified of when I release other videos. And again, the link is in the description for this DIY.